Hi everyone, this is Miss Corkins. Today we will be reading Chapter 5 Ecosystems. Make sure to turn your readers to that page. You're just going to need your packet today with a pen or a pencil. We're going to read the chapter. I'm going to give you some additional questions to think about during the reading, and I'm going to be providing you some cool websites you can go to for additional work or practice. All right, let's get started. Our objective today is I can explain ecosystems have living and non-living parts and identify different kinds of ecosystems. And you can see there at the bottom of my picture, I have a picture of my tuckered out dog, Roxy, from the rainstorm the other day. She hates the rain. Oh, she's so cute. All right, so our agenda today is to read Chapter 5, to have activity page 6.1 expectations clearly read out to you so you know what to do. I'm going to give you some additional activities that you can do on your own for extra work to help fill that time. And then we're going to talk to you about iReady math and reading. Chapter 5 Ecosystems. The big question today is, what is an ecosystem and what are the different types of ecosystems? So by the end of this chapter, you should be able to go back and to answer this question. Ecosystems. An ecosystem includes all the living and non-living things that interact in a given area. You can think of an ecosystem as a neighborhood of living things. So how does the meaning of an ecosystem differ from that of the words environment and habitat? An environment is one geographic area. Ecosystems also include a sense of flow of energy and matter. Ecosystems vary widely in size. An ecosystem may be as large as a huge lake or as small as a moss-covered rock. Do you think the single tree is an example of an ecosystem? Well, yes, it is. There are other organisms that live their entire lives getting everything that they need without ever leaving the tree. This tree is also part of a much larger ecosystem, a Central American forest ecosystem. Some of these forests cover vast areas, but all of the living and non-living things compose the Central American forest ecosystem. Ecosystems contain living things, and ecosystems are made up of many kinds of organisms, including producers, consumers, and decomposers. These organisms depend on one another for food and energy. In an ecosystem, producers make energy from the sun. Consumers eat the producers, and some consumers eat other consumers. Finally, the decomposers help to break down matter and energy and return it to the earth. This helps new plants to grow again. A healthy ecosystem has many different types of living things in it. Most of the living things interact in some way and depend on each other, either directly or indirectly. This is a picture of an agriculture, which changes a natural occurring ecosystem into a human-developed ecosystem. Ecosystems contain non-living things. The living things in an ecosystem also depend on the non-living environment. Factors such as temperature, rainfall, fog, wind, and sunlight all affect the ecosystem. Water. Every living thing needs water to survive. Most animals live in or near a pond, stream, river, or ocean. Even when water cannot be seen, living things have ways to find hidden sources. Animals can eat fruit or plants to get the water stored inside. Plants use their roots to find water deep within the soil and to collect the water quickly from the soil when it rains. Rainwater is an important part of many ecosystems. Think about a tropical rainforest. These places get a lot of rain, so a lot of the plants can grow there. The rainwater also provides water to the animals. Now think about the desert ecosystem. Deserts do not get a lot of rain, yet they still support the other organisms that live there. How is this possible? Well, many plants and animals have adapted to the conditions in deserts. For example, the cactus is a plant that does not need a lot of constant water to grow. When it rains, the desert When it rains in the desert, some cacti soak up the rainwater and store it in their trunks for months or years, using it as a reserve supply to keep them hydrated until it rains again. Animals that live in the desert have learned to find ways to get water out of the cacti, such as by drilling holes into the trunks or drinking the water from their fruits. So here's a picture of the tundra ecosystem. The question here is asking you, what living and non-living things do you see in this ecosystem? Take a few seconds and look at the picture. Can you spot some living things, some non-living things in this ecosystem? In this picture, I see pine trees, grass, mountain goats, sheep that are all living. Air, snow, water, rocks, and soil are the non-living things in this ecosystem. Continuing, Chapter 5, Ecosystems. Sunlight and soil. Sunlight and the types of sediment in soil are important to non-living parts of the ecosystem. Producers need sunlight to make food. Getting more sunlight means producers can make more food. In turn, this allows them to provide more food and more homes to other organisms. Different textures of soil may hold water or allow it to drain away more quickly. The type of soil affects the type of plants that can take root and survive in place. Compare the soil where the plants in these two photos are growing. Which type of soil seems to support a greater variety of plant life? I don't know about you, but it looks like the photo on the top has a lot more plants and a lot more green growing than the soil and the bottom picture is just showing one tree. Shelter. Living things need shelter to survive. They may depend on non-living things such as rocks, burrows in the ground, or shells that their own bodies produce to make their home. Organisms may depend on other living things for shelter, such as a tree branch, a coral reef, or a mouth of an animal. In fact, your own body is an ecosystem that supports millions of other organisms. The human body contains many types of bacteria that are not only harmless, but are also helpful to your health. Here's a picture, and it says that your mouth is an ecosystem for millions of harmless bacteria. This provides shelter as well as moisture and food. I had no idea I had bacteria growing in my mouth. That's pretty cool. Ecosystems vary greatly. Ecosystems can be any size. They can span from the very small, such as a small pond, to the very large, such as miles and miles of deep ocean. The Great Barrier Reef in the eastern Australia is an ecosystem that is about 14,300 miles long. This is a large ecosystem. An aquarium is an example of an artificial ecosystem that's very small. An aquarium can be made with just 1 or 2 gallons of water. In the tank, a person can put everything the fish needs to survive. Even a single drop of pond water can be an ecosystem. It can have everything necessary for tiny plankton to live their lives. The thing that large and small ecosystems have in common is that they both contain things that are necessary for organisms to survive. When you think of the word ecosystem, think of 3 things: a well-defined area, all living things in it, and all the non-living things that are a part of it. Here's a picture of a plant terrarium. This is an example of a small ecosystem. Do you guys remember when we created our own terrariums? I do. I hope those terrariums are working very hard to sustain as we're on this break. Alright, that was it for Chapter 5. So here is activity page 6.1. So here in this activity page, it says a needy plant in the neighborhood. Directions. Like animals, all plants have needs they must meet to survive, grow, and reproduce. Research a plant that grows in your neighborhood. You can choose any plant that you wish. It can be a kind of tree, bush, weed, flower, or crop. Explain what needs the plant has and how it meets those needs. Below these directions, it says to write the name of your plant here, to draw a picture of what your plant looks like in the box. And then below, you're just answering those 3 questions. So here are my expectations on how to complete this assignment. You can pick and research a plant in your neighborhood or any plant that you wish. If you want to go outside of your neighborhood, that is fine. Just make sure that you're finding the information to answer the questions below. My expectations: to pick a plant in your neighborhood, or you can research a plant. You can choose a dandelion, a sunflower, tulips, and an oak tree. Right now, Miss Corkins has lots of tulips growing in her garden. So I would probably pick that as my plant. And that's okay. If you don't have that kind of plant in your neighborhood or near you, just pick a plant from the internet then. That's okay too. Answer the questions that follow your plant and to draw the picture in the box to show what your plant looks like. So the 3 questions you're going to answer is: what are your plant's needs? How does your plant meet those needs? So in other words, how do they survive? And what consumes your plant? Does anything eat your plant? It's okay if you don't know this answer. Sometimes I know in my garden there are bunny rabbits that try to eat my plants. What is eating plants in maybe your area? You can also research this if you're not sure. Even insects may eat plants. So just make sure to look that up. You can answer your questions for the first one in complete sentence, since there's lots of lines there. But the next 2, there's very little space to write, so you can just write your answer. When you are finished, be sure to take a picture and send it to Ms. Quirkins. I have so enjoyed all the pictures I have been getting from students. Thank you so much for that. When you're done with this activity page, I also have additional activities that you can go and you can look up for extra fun or just to fill some time if you're feeling a little bored. This first one is National Geographic. So here, this is really cool because it's a slideshow of all the different types of ecosystems and different animals that live in those ecosystems. So if you just want to learn about different types of animals and where they live and how they survive, this is a perfect website to go to. It's so much fun to scroll through those pictures and learn some new things that maybe you didn't know before. So I definitely recommend going to this website. It's pretty cool. I really liked the Khan Academy. This is a really great website to go to. It's completely free. You can use it anytime you want. This just gives you kind of like an article of an ecosystem. It talks about the flow of energy through ecosystems, food chains, food webs, everything we've basically been talking about for the last month in school. So go to this website for extra fun and learning. This is another one. This is called Generation Genius. This is a new one. I haven't really heard a lot about this one before, but it does have a little mini video clip about introduction to ecosystems to kind of sum up everything we've been learning about, which I thought was pretty cool. It also has some questions and activity that you can go to as well. This is just a fun website to go to. When you're done with all your work and you're still so bored and you just don't know what to do, you can go to iReady Math or Reading. I've been checking iReady Math and Reading a few times a week to make sure that students are still practicing and reading and logging in. If you need help to log in, please reach out to your teacher. They can help you with that information. But I would like you to first try logging in on your own. If you can't, then contact your teacher. Try first. All right, boys and girls, that is the end of our lesson today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Get outside and run. It is gorgeous out with that sunshine. Please do not stay cooped up in all day. I know Miss Corkins is going out for a jog right now, and I'm really excited. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. All right, bye guys. Have a good one.